Going on, ladies and gentlemen? Back with another Locked On Wizards episode. Me, D, and your boy Ed back at you again. Now the Wizards, some more COVID news. It's starting to go through the ways of the team, man. Tough, very tough. We got some Davies and Deni Avdija potential drama. Rui Hachimura, some minor updates. I mean, let's get right into it, Ed.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is going on, guys? Back at you guys with another Locked On Wizards podcast episode. Today's episode is brought to you by Truebill. Don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at truebill.com/lockedonnba. On Monday, Ed wasn't able to be here with us to give his thoughts about the Wizards 76ers game. So let's hop right into that. Ed, what was your thoughts about the game?
I thought we actually came out to a strong start. We were moving the ball, and I was like, I saw a lot of people talking about everybody eats, 2.0 with, they're just moving the ball better without Bradley Beal. They were doing that to start off, and then Joel Embiid just started dominating the game. Tobias Harris was virtually unstoppable. We couldn't stop him. He was hitting a whole bunch of mid-range jumpers. Dale Gafford got in early foul trouble. Joel Embiid, he's a tough matchup for everybody, but him against Gafford, we saw it in the playoffs as well. It looked like deja vu in the playoffs last year. Tobias Harris was killing us in the playoffs too. So it just looked like a mismatch against everybody. Now Trez tried his best. Trez got the 2 techs. He got ejected. I thought the second tech was a little ticky-tacky, but he does have to hold his composure. Joel Embiid is a guy that usually does get in people's heads and gets in scuffles and whatnot. So I understand where Trez is coming from. But we needed him badly in that game. And then once Trez, we were kind of getting dominated anyway. But once Trez went out, the wheels started to fall off, and it started to get a little ugly from there. Ended up losing by 21 points. Now we got dominated on the boards. I know we gave up a lot of second chance points. They got the Sixers got 10 offensive rebounds in the first half. They were just dominating us on the rebounds. They got some rebounds, and Seth Curry would hit a wide open 3. We were letting Georges Niang hit a lot of threes in that first half. Him and Korkmaz, we allowed a lot of wide open threes. We got to do better defensively from the 3-point line, and us offensively from the 3-point line. We were pretty darn bad. We're just not a good 3-point shooting team at all. We shot 24% from the 3-point line with 8 for 33. We were hot in the next game. Corey Kispert was hot in that next game, and he cooled off. He was 0 for 5 from the 3-point line, so we needed his 3-point shooting, and he wasn't knocking it down. The whole team was just cold from the 3-point line. Our free throw percentage was bad as well. 18 for 28, 64% from the free throw line. We haven't shot well from the free throw line lately. That's a problem. Spencer Dinwiddie continues to miss a couple free throws here and there too. But once again, he just looks more aggressive without Bradley Beal. He didn't have his best game, but he just looks better without Bradley Beal, man. I don't know what it is, but he just looks better. He looks more active, more athletic, more mobile. When Bradley Beal doesn't play, he has 17 points, 6 assists. He's just way more aggressive. I really want to see him play with that same attitude and that same effort when Bradley Beal does play. Kuzma had a double-double, but he was off for the night. 4 for 11, 1 for 4 from the 3-point line. Daniel Gafford, I saw him miss a dunk as well. So he just had an off night. And I love Daniel Gafford, but you can tell he's still developing. He's still learning. Still getting better. But yeah, defensively, we just couldn't stop Embiid. We couldn't stop Tobias Harris. We couldn't stop their role players. Once again, like I said, Seth Curry, Georges Niang, guys like that. Tyrese Maxey, we didn't have an answer for him. Tyrese Maxey killed us in the playoff series too. So it really was deja vu. And we couldn't get any buckets towards the end. I thought Denny gave some effort. He tried. He had a strong take against Joel Embiid. That could have been an and one in the beginning of the game. 9 points, 9 boards, thought he was solid. And then, of course, we see him and Davis Bertans getting a little disagreement. We're going to talk about that later. Davis had one of his better shooting nights, 4 for 9 from the 3-point line. So that was a lot better from him. Offensively, still took a couple questionable shots here and there, but sometimes we got ran out of the gym. And you could tell we were missing guys. They were missing guys too, so I'm not going to use that excuse. But for the people that say we're better without Bradley Beal, that was a nightmare show that we definitely could have used a scorer, somebody who could create for themselves, because it was a struggle offensively for guys to create for themselves and get their own basket. Bradley Beal is definitely a guy that's capable, that does that every night. He's that's what he's known for, scoring and creating his own buckets. He's a 3-level scorer. Definitely could have used him. Now we're 4-1 without Bradley Beal. We were undefeated without Bradley Beal, but now for the crowd that says we're better without him, this is not the case there. So, but we could have used KCP too, and Hollow Neto missing too. I thought that hurt us a little bit too, because he changed the pace and he has played better in the past couple of games. The lineup with Neto, Brad, Gaff, Denny, and KCP, that's been our best lineup, and we missed 2 guys from that best lineup. And Denny played 29 minutes last night. We were 6-0 when he plays 27 minutes plus, so this was our first loss with Denny playing 27 minutes. But he's starting to look more confident. I love what I see from him out there. He's playing more confident. He had a couple nice finishes as well. But that was a playoff preview that we're going to have to step our game up if we want to compete with the teams like the Sixers, the Nets, the Bucks, and guys like that. That was definitely a preview and a wake-up call for the Washington Wizards. Even though we were missing guys, I'm not going to use that as an excuse, but it was definitely a preview of what we're going to have to face in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I think really the main thing is when the Wizards face guys with bigs like Joel Embiid and the 76ers, or Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets, or Karl Anthony Towns and the Minnesota Timberwolves, you really see the Wizards' lack of size inside. Daniel Gafford isn't the biggest guy. Montrezl Harrell obviously isn't the biggest guy. And you kind of wondering, is like, maybe the Wizards could use a bigger body down there, like a Robin Lopez, even though he wasn't the most mobile guy, but he had some size on him. Or Alex Len, who was a big body down there, who had some nice defensive moments last season. You wonder. And, you bring in Thomas Bryant, who's, again, not the biggest guy, not the biggest big down there. So, I mean, the Wizards could definitely use some size down low, because when they face these guys like Joel Embiid, it's going to be the same story every time. And you can bring the double teams, all the double teams you want. That's going to leave guys like Seth Curry wide open, Court Bass wide open. It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be a tough matchup. Joel dominated Tobias Harris. He continues to dominate the Wizards. He didn't even have to shoot a three-pointer in that game. I mean, it was all straight from the midi, all to the basket. I know he got a couple putbacks off his own misses down low. I mean, the 76ers are a really tough matchup for the Washington Wizards. They are a really tough matchup because all the Wizards' weaknesses are the 76ers' strengths. The Wizards have struggled to protect the paint down low at time, and they're a little smaller down low. The 76ers are big down there. I mean, and that's just counting one guy. They're very big down there. And then we got Joel Embiid, who's not just a back-to-the-basket guy. When you got that guy coming down the court, coast to coast, taking it from one end to the other, dribbling, good luck. I mean, good luck for anybody out there. So Daniel Gafford and Montrez aren't the only guys to get 36 dropped on them by Joel. He'll do it a plethora of more times to a lot more teams. But I mean, like I said before, when teams are shooting 50% plus from the field, it's going to be tough, man, especially when you aren't making your threes. I mean, the 76ers didn't shoot bad from the three. They shot 39%. But even if they did, I don't think it would have mattered because they were shooting 50% from the field. So half of the shots of those 86 they took went in, which is crazy. So, I mean, hopefully the next game the Wizards, can do a little better. It's a break. Bam's not going to be playing, so they don't got to worry about a big, dominant big. I remember when we were talking about the 76ers preview, in the preview, I said, Nikola Jokic got Daniel Gafford out of there really quick. Daniel Gafford got those two pretty quick. Joel got him out of there, and I mean, it was a wrap from there. But before we get into the COVID news and just Mayor Bowser as well, Ed, as you said, talking about a mass mandate in DC, which could potentially affect certain player and or players, that we know is not vaccinated. Interesting news. But before we get to that, we do have a message from our friends over at Truebill. Do you really need all those streaming services now that you're back in the office? The pandemic almost required us to have 12 different streaming services, but now that you're back in the office and you've watched every show available, what is the point of spending hundreds a month on streaming services you don't even use? Truebill is a new app that helps you identify and stop paying for subscriptions you don't need, want, or simply forgot about. On average, people save up to $720 a year with Truebill because companies make subscriptions hard to cancel. Truebill makes it incredibly simple. Just link your accounts and Truebill will cancel your unwanted subscriptions in one tap, and your Truebill concierge is there when you need them to cancel unwanted subscriptions so you don't have to. Truebill has over 2 million users and helps save them over $100 million. Like Matthew, who says, in a matter of seconds, I saved $660 for the year on my DirecTV bill, save $120 for the year on my CyrusXM bill, save $840 a year on car insurance. Don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at Truebill.com/LockedOnNBA. Go right now, Truebill.com/LockedOnNBA. It could save you thousands a year. Truebill.com/LockedOnNBA. And guys, I want to thank you for making Locked On Wizards your first listen. And for your next listen, check out the Locked On Now podcast. Nightly recaps of every NBA game with analysis from our local experts. Listen to Locked On Now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or watch it on the Locked On NBA YouTube channel. So, Ed, some more COVID news, some more Wizards players out. Most recently, Anthony Gill, Thomas Bryant, who's still recovering from that ACL, and Aaron Holiday. They joined Raul Neto, Bradley Beal, Caldwell Pope. We know Kyle Kuzma's been in the COVID protocols before. I mean, it's getting tougher. It's getting tougher. We've seen Shackle get some playing time against the 76ers from the G League. I know Goodwin, I believe, was signed as well to give the team some reinforcements. I mean, what are you thinking about it? I mean, how do you feel about just what's going on with the team as far as the safety protocols? It's getting tough.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough for the whole NBA. I mean, they barely got to the Christmas Day games. I mean, so many guys out. I'm kind of liking seeing, we talked about this before, all the old guys or some of the guys who weren't getting a chance before, like your Lance Stevensons of the world, Isaiah Thomas, Darren Collison, Greg Monroe. And some people were asking about Greg Monroe. He actually got called up by the Minnesota Timberwolves, so he's not going to be on the Wizards at all. But yeah, Thomas Bryant is in the COVID protocol. Aaron Holiday is now in the health and safety protocols. Raul Neto's in the protocols. And, last year we barely had guys. We had 2 weeks off last year due to the virus. But what we were talking about with Mayor Muriel Bowser, the mayor of DC, this is from our guy Neil, who came on the show a couple weeks ago. He tweeted, the Wizards continue to be vague about what DC's January 15th first shot vaccine mandate means for an unvaccinated Wizards player playing at Capital One Arena. Wes Unseld Jr. says, I don't think it's going to affect us at that point with the player's ability to get out on the floor. So, Wes Unseld Jr. doesn't think it's going to affect them at all. But, we don't want it to be a situation where, we're looking at a Kyrie Irving situation with Bradley Beal because, both of them don't want to get the vaccine. And both cities possibly could be under a vaccine mandate where to play in an arena with, 50,000 fans or 40,000 fans or however many fans are in Capital One Arena, Bradley Beal might not be able to play. So that is a concern for the Washington Wizards, of course, if your number one player can't play. So this is a concern. And the Miami Heat, they got a lot of guys out tomorrow night too. So, we're going to see what happens with this. But yeah, it's an obstacle. It's an uphill battle with the virus. But, it's basically a next man up situation. We're probably gonna have to start calling some guys up from the G League. Probably gonna have to sign some guys off the streets too. Some free agents. I don't know if we're gonna go after somebody like a Michael Beasley or somebody like that. But we're starting to get pretty thin there. And an update about Rui too. Rui is listed as questionable as well. Chase Hughes was on the show a couple weeks ago as well. I have a quote from him. About talking about Rui and his return. Let me see if I can find it here. He says, Wes Unseld Jr. on Rui today, by my account, Wes Unseld Jr. quote says, by my account, and I'm not a medical professional. He looks great. Rui looks ready. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves and skip steps. But when the time is right, we'll throw him out there. That was earlier today, tweeted by Chase Hughes at 1 o'clock. And then also Neil also said that Rui hasn't played 2-on. He has played 2-on-2 and 3-on-3, but he has not played 5-on-5 practice as of yet. Now Rui did suit up against the Knicks, or he sat on the bench. He suited up, and then he sat on the bench again against the Sixers. So, who knows when Rui's going to return? I would love to see him play. Honestly, I think the best way to get comfortable is by playing in games. But I understand, they want to take it slow with him and, 5-on-5 practice. So, I'm hoping that Rui can play before the new year or play before Thomas Bryant comes back. But, we just don't know exactly what's going on. So we'll see. But I think the team definitely could use Rui, especially since we're going to be undermanned. Coming up these next couple of games, we don't know when guys are going to come back. And then also there was news from the CDC and the NBA too. If you're vaccinated and you get the virus, if you test negative within 5 days, you don't have to be isolated for 10 days. Now you only have to be isolated for 5 days. So it's different rules coming up every day. So it's tough to follow this stuff. It's a lot of rules and a lot of stuff. So, but we'll see. Like I said, I hope Rui can come back sooner than later.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought the Rui being dressed thing was weird because and being considered questionable. I don't know if it's just so they can have an extra guy on the bench, because when they first brought it up, I was like, well, he's not going to play. I mean, they haven't even said he's played 5-on-5. Like, they said he's played no 5-on-5 yet, but they're suiting him up and he's questionable. I'm like, that's cap. Like, he's not about to play. He hasn't even played 5-on-5 yet. So I don't expect him to play in Miami. He hasn't played 5-on-5 basketball yet. So he's just going to be sitting there again with the questionable tag. Until he plays 5-on-5 and they say they revved him up, he's in 5-on-5 contact, everything, then I'll be like, all right, now he's ready to go. But 2-on-2s, 3-on-3s, and that's it. I don't see him stepping foot on the court still. But as far as just the COVID stuff, man, it's crazy. It really is, and it's a lot of rules. Like you said, it's hard to keep up. It's like every day a new coach or player is in the protocol. I don't know who's being cleared. I don't know who's going in. I don't know what rule they're making for vaccinated and asymptomatic guys, and you only got to be out for 5 days now instead of 10. And if you're unvaccinated, you got to wait a full 10 days. It's just so much.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I mean, it's hard to keep up, man. It's even Wes Unseld Jr. said when he was talking about Anthony Gill and all them, he said, I'm having a hard time keeping track of it. It changes by the hour, and that's facts. It's just a lot to keep up with, all this COVID stuff, man. I don't know if it'll ever really subside.
Yeah,
but
I don't think it will.
Yeah, you just got to hope that it, the impact lowers just as time goes on, man. I mean, that's all I can really say about it. But, guys, before we get into our preview of the Heat and Wizards and talking about the little minor Davis Bertans, Deni Avdija spat, it does have a message from our friends over at BetOnline.
This episode is brought to you by BetOnline. They have you covered this holiday season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before as football continues its march through the college bowl season and the pro football playoffs. BetOnline remains your number one spot for all the sports action this season. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code LOCKEDON to receive your bonus from basketball, football, NHL, boxing, and UFC right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports, so don't wait to take advantage of all the new amazing offers available. BetOnline, where the game starts. Yeah, so D, also, this is a note from The Athletic saying, Josh Robbins from The Athletic, he said, Wes Unseld Jr. said the Wizards are hopeful that Bradley Beal will play tomorrow against the Heat, but Beal's return is contingent on on testing negative. So we already know he's unvaccinated. And I don't think it's been 10 days, honestly, either. So I don't 100% know the rules, but, we'll just see. Hopefully he can play in Miami. We don't know if he's traveling to the game or not, so it's just up in the air. But like I said, next man up, we got to, this will be a great opportunity for guys to develop. Deni Avdija developing without Bradley Beal being on the court. It will be more shots for him. It will be more shots for everybody else. Spencer Dinwiddie. I'm intrigued to see Dinwiddie play without Beal because he's just a different guy. So I really want to see 3 or 4 games with Dinwiddie by himself. I actually am intrigued because he just plays so much better. But yeah, what's your thoughts on this, Denny? If you guys didn't know, there's about 4 minutes left in the game. We were already getting blown out by at least 23 points last night against the Sixers. Denny, so Davies shoots a 3. So he comes off a screen. Denny sets the screen for Davies. Denny has Seth Curry on him, a smaller guy who's 6 feet tall. Denny's 6'9", and Denny wants to post up, which, common sense basketball, you would just give it to the mismatch. But Denny and Davies got into an argument. Davies was not happy that Denny set the screen. Or actually, I can pull up a tweet here too, just to explain it before, just to get all the context here. This is from Quentin Mayo, a Washington Wizards insider. He said, per his source about Davies, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, he said the play was called for Davies Bertans. Deni Avdija was supposed to set a screen for Davies and said Avdija identified his post advantage, the mismatch with Seth Curry, and wanted to exploit it. Davies was angered by that and had some words for Denny, and Denny obviously responded. Quentin Mayo was told. So I just want to get your thoughts about the situation. I know a lot of fans and Wizards fans had a lot to say about it on social media. They're probably going to say a lot in the comment section. Shout out to the people listening to Israel so we know what they're going to say down below. But I just want to get your take on the altercation. Was it a big deal? I know it wasn't as crazy as the Washington football team fight that we saw on the sideline, throwing punches and whatnot. But I just want to get your take on the disagreement that we saw last night.
Yeah, it wasn't up to that level of punching teammates on the sidelines in football games. But I mean, they're losing, frustrated. I mean, I'm Team Denny, so there's not much wrong Denny can do in my eyes personally. If the man sees a mismatch, give him the ball. I don't really care. I know Davies was having one of his rare, decent shooting games, so I know he wanted to keep getting those shots up because we know next game it can be 0 for 5. So I know he wanted to get all he can get. But I mean, I don't really look too much into it, but I'm Team Denny. So I agree with getting Denny the ball on Seth Curry, finding the mismatch. But if that's the play that was ran, etc., I can understand why Davies was upset and all of that. But I'm not really looking too much into it. Guys have spats all the time. We've seen LeBron and players go at it. Or earlier this season, we see Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard get into it on the bench. So this isn't anything new. And it wasn't even up to that level. They just had a little conversation. Happens all the time.
That is true. That's a good point. I forgot about Anthony Davis roughing up Dwight Howard. That was interesting. And then, of course, LeBron yelling at Mario Chalmers back in the day, like every other game. It happens in the heat of the moment. That's the same thing I would say with the football team. I didn't really care because they were getting blown out. It was miserable. It's hard when you're down by 25, 30 points. It's not peachy creamy. Not everybody's not going to be smiling in each other's face. It's just the heat of the moment. It happens. Disagreements happen. It's good to see it because these guys are passionate. They want to win. But as far as the play, I just feel like, yeah, Denny, you're 6'9". He's on Seth Curry. And I know Davies was, having one of his good games, which he hasn't had many this season or really the past year and a half. So it looks like he was, and he kind of put his hand in Denny's face a little bit or put his hand in his chest and was telling Denny what to do or what he should have did. So, but no, I was personally from a basketball perspective, I feel like you should give the ball to the guy who's 6'9" or against the guy who's 6 feet. And Davies ended up missing the shot. So, but hey, it is what it is. We'll move on and hopefully these guys can work it out offensively and be better from it. It's a learning experience. We'll take it as that. But let's look at some of the guys that are out from the heat, and then we'll do a quick preview, and then we'll probably get ready for tomorrow night. So the Miami Heat have a lot of guys out as well. Let me see if I can find the list here. Yeah, I think I sent it to you on Twitter. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so yeah, the Heat have listed Bam Adebayo, he's going to be out. Dwayne Dedmon's going to be. That's two bigs. We just talked about the bigs, the mismatch with Joel Embiid, and how it would have been potentially a tough matchup against Bam and Dwayne Dedmon. Kyle Lowry's going to be out due to health and safety protocols. Bam Adebayo is actually out to a right thumb injury, so it's not COVID related at all. Same thing with Dwayne Dedmon. It's a left knee injury. Markieff Morris has been out for like a month now after the hit to the neck from Jokic. He's been out for a while. Victor Oladipo has been out for the whole year with a knee injury. PJ Tucker is questionable due to nerve inflammation in his lower left leg. So this could be a game where the Wizards need to take advantage with all these guys out. I know we might have Bradley Beal out, but this is a game where the Heat are wounded and they need to take advantage of this one. But what's your thoughts and keys to victory on the game for tomorrow night?
Yeah, they definitely got an opportunity to take this game. It's a lot of guys missing, potentially, with Bill out again. So it's both sides, both guys missing for sure. I mean, defend the paint, which should be a little easier. I know they'll have Jimmy in there, so he'll be attacking and shooting those middies. But defending the paint, you can't allow the Heat to shoot 50+% from the field. You cannot allow it. You got to make them shoot the three ball and miss. If, like I keep saying, if you hold them to 29% from the three, but you're allowing 53% from the field, as well as you not making shots, I mean, it doesn't really matter, what you do from how you defend the 3-point line. So the Wizards defending the paint, do that. Please defend the paint. Do not allow close to 50% or over 50% from the field. And let's see if you can get hot from three, man. Let's hit some open threes. Let's hit some open looks. I know the Knicks game was a little rarity from three, but I would love for them to be able to hit that three ball again, man, when they're open. So if they can hit the three ball and defend the paint, they got a good chance, man. I think they'll keep the fouls down for the most part. I know Jimmy, he got to the line a lot the last time they played the Wizards. He got to the free throw line a lot. And him and Diddy had a little back and forth, so that matchup will be interesting to see. If we're talking about matchups to watch, I would definitely say Diddy versus Jimmy.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by that too. I mean, because Jimmy was talking trash. I remember we won in the last seconds of the game. We ended up winning. We got a stop on Jimmy Butler. He missed the three. It was great defense by Montrez. Spencer Dinwiddie hit some clutch buckets in that game. It was a tough, ugly, grinded out game. We found a way to win. And it's going to be a physical game. I mean, like you said, free throws. The Miami Heat, they get to the free throw line a lot. They're ranked 6th in three-point percentage. They shoot 36% from the three-point line. We're ranked 26th in threes and three-point percentage. We're just terrible from the three. Like you said earlier, we got to knock down some open shots. Corey Kispert, we're going to need him to step up with the playing time because he's started the last two games. So he's got to take advantage of those minutes. I thought he did in New York. I want to see him keep it up with better shooting. I saw him miss a layup against the Sixers where it was like a wedgie. The ball got stuck in the rim. He's got to finish those layups. He's doing a good job cutting to the basket. He has a knack for getting open. That's one thing he does. He has a knack for getting open and cut to the basket. So I want to see more minutes from him. And then, of course, Denny doing his thing, being a ball handler, getting to the basket. He's shooting a three-point. He's shooting better from the three-point line. And Dinwiddie, once again, by playing without Bradley Beal. I want to see how aggressive he is. But they got some shooters. Man. Duncan Robinson can shoot the heck out of the three. Tyler Hero can shoot the heck out of the three. They're gonna try to light it up from the three. Gabe Vincent, he can shoot the three. He hurt us the last time we played him in Miami. And this guy Omer Yurtseven, he went to Georgetown University, and he's taking advantage of the playing time without Bam and without Dwayne Dedmon. The last game they played against the Magic, he had 16 points and 15 boards. So he's playing good basketball. I liked Omer coming out of Georgetown. So there's going to be a good matchup for Gaff, and Udonis Haslem is playing big minutes. And how old is he? 40 years old. So Montrezl Harrell, I want to see him dominate against Udonis Haslem, and I want to see Daniel Gafford redeem himself from that game against Joel Embiid. This should be a bounce back game for him. He doesn't have to score a bunch of points. Just bring energy and stop bringing the ball down. He keeps bringing the ball down. Every time he gets a rebound, just go right back up, because Joel Embiid is going to block you if you bring the ball back down, or any other big is going to block you if you keep bringing the ball back down. So defending the three-point line, defense without fouling because they get to the free throw line. Jimmy Butler, he's going to keep going downhill. He doesn't shoot a lot of threes at all. He wants to shoot the mid-range game, and we got to defend Duncan Robinson and Max Struss too. He can shoot the heck out of the three too. Caleb Martin too. They're guys coming off the bench. They're not scared. They will come in. They will be aggressive, and they will shoot the heck out of the ball from the 3-point line. So we got to defend the 3-point line and ball movement too. Basically the same formula how we beat the Knicks. We got to move the ball. I want to see us get at least 30 assists. My bold prediction is we're going to get 30 assists like we did against the Knicks.
Bold prediction, I'll say they'll keep the Heat from under 50% from the field because that can be an issue at times with the Wizards. So I would say that's my bold prediction. And I think that's all we got for you guys tonight, man. Thank you once again for making Locked On Wizards your first listen each and every day. And for your second listen, Locked On Bets, your daily one-stop shop for all your gambling needs. Locked On Bets, hosted by your boy Q, with expert analysis and insight from Lee Sterling. Well, guys, hopefully we'll be coming at you guys with a dub after the Miami Heat game, depending on who plays. But hopefully they get the dub.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure you guys subscribe on YouTube and hit the notification bell. Thank you guys for listening. Hail to the Wizards. Peace.
Peace.